Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP. Welcome to Crowdfunding Offers Significant Benefits to Small Medium Enterprises and Accountants. A new opportunity for small medium enterprises has arisen, and that is because the Australian government has passed the legislation for crowdsourced funding. There are now three distinct opportunities for small medium enterprises to raise capital: from crowdsourced funding, from early stage innovation companies which become operational from July 2016, and Section 708 capital raisings which have been around for the last 20 odd years. This has been a dream for many years for quite a number of small medium enterprises, having a wider range of sources from which to raise equity capital. Most companies that wish to avail themselves of crowdfunding will be small businesses. They are the traditional clients of small, medium-sized accountancy businesses. There's a great opportunity for smaller, medium-sized accountancy businesses to create a new income stream, as envisaged by Deloitte in their report a few years ago when they looked at the challenges that digital disruption was going to bring to the Australian accounting industry. Proprietary limited companies will have to convert to unlisted public companies to avail themselves of the crowdfunding legislation. To be an eligible unlisted public company, the company must have a group turnover of less than $25 million, and the gross value of group assets must be under $25 million. If the company passes those tests, it's then able to give serious consideration to being able to raise capital from the crowd. The legislation has also introduced a 5-year exemption from some of the more onerous requirements of operating a small business as an unlisted public company. These relate to the continuous disclosure rules. There will be no need to hold a physical annual general meeting. It can be held over the internet. There is no need to appoint an auditor, and the annual reports can be distributed via email and not in a paper version. However, the audit exemption will expire if the company raises over $1 million in equity from any source, so a Section 708 capital raising or a crowdfunding raising of in excess of $1 million will mean that the company then has to appoint an auditor. The legislation introduces some new terminology, and one of them is gatekeepers. A gatekeeper is the crowdsourced funding intermediary. These will be businesses that hold a financial services license, and their role is to check the crowdsourced funding offer document that the company has to produce. Most of them will require professional accounting advice to do so. And we would urge you to seriously contemplate being involved in this new emerging market. No one else is currently doing it because this legislation doesn't actually commence operation under September 2017. So now is a great opportunity for accountants to start preparing to get involved in this new exciting area. Retail investors are people who are described as not being sophisticated investors And generally, I'm sure you know that definition, basically people with under $2.5 million in assets or who owned other assets or earned in excess of $250,000 in the previous financial year. Retail investors will be restricted to a $10,000 investment over a 12-month period, and they have the benefit of a 5-day cooling off period, in which they can ask for their money back. Sophisticated investors, there's no limit on how much money they can contribute, and there is no cooling off period. So this is a great opportunity to raise capital for a small medium enterprise or an entrepreneur or an inventor. Those two people might not be currently operating as a company, but they may be thinking about it as they plan where they are going in their business activities. Now, no one is going to get accepted as a crowdfunding company unless they are able to produce adequate documents to substantiate their business vision. And they will need assistance from accountants to be able to do this. Some of these companies will become big businesses over the years, and that will be great. But this fairy tale will not turn out the way you are probably all thinking now, unless there is strong discipline in the production of documents, because the gatekeepers will reject the application to be listed on a crowdsourced funding platform. So it's very essential that in your discussions with your clients and prospects, you emphasize to them that it is very important that they have these documents carefully prepared. So what's your role? I imagine accountants could be the project manager to manage this process, because your client is going to have to go and talk to other people about market research. What is the potential market for the company's products or services, and at what price? The companies are going to need a marketing plan which will identify the marketing activities that are deemed necessary to be undertaken to generate the revenue that the business is projecting in its business plan and budgets and cash flow forecasts. What's the intellectual property situation in this business? Does this business produce intellectual property? And if so, what is the protection strategy that's in place? Confidentiality agreements, discussions with patent attorneys, potential registration of a patent. Now, some of those tasks, if you leave them to the company's management team to look after, or to your individual clients, it will take some time, and with all due respect to the clients, it probably won't get done appropriately to satisfy the gatekeepers. And that's the role that I envisage that accountants can play as being the project managers. We then move into some of the areas that an accountant could provide the services for. The management plan. Who's the management team? Their CVs. What are their salaries and bonuses, etc., going to cost? The team plan. How many staff does this business have, or does it envisage to have? What classifications are they? What are they going to cost? And that can all be then developed into a corporate chart so that a potential investor can look at this information and get a pen picture of what this team's going to look like. Many of the companies that you're going to deal with will be undertaking research and development projects, and therefore what is the business's research and development strategy? How do they protect their research and development? How do they document it? Are they putting themselves in a position where they can claim the research and development taxation rebate? And then we come to the business plan. This is obviously a very important document. It will include key information out of each of the other documents that I've referred to. They should all be part of the crowdsourced funding offer documents that have to be presented to the gatekeeper. The business plan should articulate the company's vision looking at the next 3 years. Where's this business going to go? What are the drivers going to be? What are the key performance indicators? What are the key milestones that the company is identifying? And then the budgets and cash flow forecasts, which are the financial projections to accompany the vision that's outlined in the business plan. What's all this going to cost? What income is going to be generated? How much capital is going to be projected to be raised from this offer? The information memorandum should include a précis of the key documents so that in a very short document a potential investor can get the overall picture of what's involved. This document should also include the basis for the share valuation and the allocation of shares for the amount of money that is projected to be raised by this capital issue. In other words, the justification for the share price that's in effect being charged should be documented so that it's available for the gatekeeper to review. But also there is some other information that's required to be disclosed in accordance with the Corporations Act, and this would also be summarised in the information memorandum. Corporate governance advice. Many of your clients will not be used to being directors of an unlisted public company. One of the first changes they will observe is that they need 3 directors. Some of them will have been operating in one director companies. They now have to find at least another 1 or 2 directors in some cases. That's not to mean that they cannot have more directors, but they will need at least 3 directors to comply with the legislation. And as they're going to be raising money from the public, they would be well advised to be setting up procedures that are summarised in the business plan so that this strategy is available for investors to read when they peruse the documents on the intermediaries platform, to show that the current directors are aware of their corporate responsibilities in ensuring that the company is going to be well managed. There is going to be regular board of directors meetings. There's going to be a system to ensure that appropriate reports are submitted to the directors for review at those meetings, and other matters that you might discuss with your client that they want to include in a corporate governance review. So there's a significant amount of work for an accountancy business that is keen to develop some new frontiers. And that's what crowdfunding is. It's a new frontier for the small, medium enterprise community, but also for accountancy and business advisory businesses. Because this is brand new, and most of the clients are going to come from the traditional clients of small to medium-sized accountancy businesses. Most of you can do this work as long as you do a little bit of research and use someone's tools and assistance similar to what we can provide at ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP. So the crowdsourced funding package that ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS BASIP have developed includes a detailed summary paper on how crowdsourced funding works, and there are various detailed checklists looking at crowdfunding from a small business's point of view, from the intermediaries' point of view, the gatekeeper's point of view, and also from an accountant's or business advisor's point of view as to the various documents that will have to be produced if your clients are going to get themselves into an investment-ready status whereby they will be able to raise capital. The package also includes a video overview of how to use the package, and there's also a how to use the package presented in a webinar, so that enables us to show you the individual forms as we refer to them. There is also a crowdfunding mentoring session, a 1-hour session that's been included in the package that's available to every subscriber. And we can present those webinars by Skype or by webinar. Prior to each webinar or Skype session, we will send you an agenda and we will send you an action plan at the end of each session. If you wish, you can avail yourself of the opportunity at a subsequent event to purchase some additional mentoring sessions if you wish. But the initial session will really take you through how to use it. The package also includes some promotional material for you to use as an email to your clients and prospects, advising them that you are now offering crowdsource funding, and an article that you could place on your website to inform the marketplace at large that you are interested in giving advice to companies and other people who are interested in raising money from the crowd. We're also going to offer you 4 editions of our very popular Business Plus newsletter, which is a newsletter we produce for our subscribers to badge and then send to their clients and prospects. You'll be able to do the same thing for 4 months. So your investment for this total package is $399, including GST. That will give you 12 months 24/7 access per office to this package. You pay your subscription fee and we will then send you the username and password so that you can get access to the material whenever you want to use it. And obviously you can use it for as many of your clients as you wish. If you've got any questions or need any further information, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone us on 1-800-232-088, and we will give you answers to the questions that you're asking about crowdsource funding. And finally, this is a great opportunity for accountants and business advisors to really get involved in this whole new activity that many of your clients and prospects in your particular marketplace will probably be very interested in. And it's going to be very important that you get the message out by presenting webinars and seminars, and our material relating to those activities is also available to you in the package, so that the marketplace knows that you're very keen to be involved in these services for clients and prospects in your area. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Goodbye.